Frogger control panel. I'm going to remove the joystick. Then I'm going to sand these buttons, these little bolts. I'll probably just touch them with, I think black. I mean black. Actually do have a little bit of green paint. I'm tempted to put green paint on there, but black or green. While I'm at it, I'm gonna take the buttons off and clean them, just to, just so they'll be nice and clean. And I'm gonna try to get this a little cleaner because there's some spots. Clearly, it's dirt. I mean, it's aged, but this is original, so I'm gonna leave it. At least, for now, probably I'll leave it. So anyway, and I'll probably sand this. I know you can see this is really rusty. While I get it out, I'll sand the shaft of that, and pop it back in. All right, let me start taking this apart. Here's the underside of it. Very clean on the underside, actually, surprisingly. All neatly put away. And it should be really easy just to sand, to wire in. You can see the brown here, which is the black, is the ground. So I should just top one ground and then player one, player two, up, down, left, right. That should be it for the wiring, and I'll just solder them, pop on the pads on the leaf switches, and it should be good. But I'm going to take this off first. Alright. Okay. Just loosen up these nuts and just going to set them aside. It's just surprisingly clean. I don't think this was just played. I don't think it was played very much. That's going to change. It's absolutely going to change. So let me see if I can get this off. There we go. Alright, so the joystick just slides out. There we go. I just really want to be kind of and the washer goes underneath. Is there anything in there? There's nothing in there. Okay. That just slides right in there like this. With that part up to the top. Okay. Bolts. I don't think I'm not gonna undo this right here. I'm not gonna undo that. I am gonna take the buttons out. There we go. Try to, at least. Just to clean them up. I like to get everything real clean. If I can. There we go. I don't think you really need to see, there's a little like cushion there. Right, so I'm going to set these aside really carefully, just take them apart and clean them. There's two little spacers in there, which is interesting. So there's two spacers, so everything else works pretty well. So I'm just going to take these off. I'm going to take these buttons apart, which looks, there's just another little ring. Just be real careful. This plastic is old. I'm sure it's fragile. And then there's a spring with the top part there. So I'm going to clean these. And I'll put them back in. I'm going to take them out and just take them inside and put them in a little bucket of soapy water, a little cup of soapy water, and then clean them by hand. So this is I'm not going crazy. Not that I think people are crazy when they do these total restores and paint everything and all that. I'm not, I think that's nice. And I may do that on some game, but I'm not doing it right here, not right now. Alright, so that's off. This is kind of here. I'm going to leave this attached because it's so neat, and I'm just going to clean this with a little bit of wet paper towel and stuff like that. And then I'll flip it over and try to get the other side. I'm going to try to get this really clean. You see where somebody was, whatever, just goofing off when they put stuff on it. So I'm going to try to clean that. And we'll see how that goes. So I'm just going to, got a magic eraser here and some 91% alcohol. And I'm just going to take it across the top and just oh yeah, this is working pretty well actually. Just want to get rid of the bulk of the dirt and the marker where people are, yeah, that's taking the marker off really nicely. And a little bit of color that's on here I think will pop once you get that. Okay, that actually I think looks a lot better. I mean, there was a blue here. It's barely visible. The Frogger pops a lot more. Still some dirt that's in it, but I got the circle off that was around there. It looks better. It looks a lot better. So I think we're going to call that a little win, and that's original, and that's what we're going to call it. And we'll leave it there. I'm going to clean up the rest of the stuff. Okay, so this is pretty rusted. It's pretty beat up. So actually I've got some, this is 80 grit, which is pretty strong, but you can see the rust is coming off my hands. We can't have that. So what I want to do, well, I think this will work. I think I've seen people do it, is put my joystick there into my drill. Get a strip of the sandpaper and just kind of okay. So there's the after. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of cover up the end, and I think I'll hit that with a little bit of clear coat maybe, just to keep the rust from coming back. So rust will want to come back on it. Okay, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to put the joystick in a bag, paper, just a lunch sack, poke a hole through it, up like that. That kind of protects the red part of the joystick. I don't have to tape it or anything. Like that. And then I'm using this just a clear coat to see if we can keep that rust. There. That's done. Just a light coat of the clear coat on there to keep that rust from coming through. That'll dry in just a second, and then I'll just pull that out from the other end, and we'll have the, actually it's almost dry right now, because I just wanted a little mist of it on there. There we go. Now it's got a little clear coat just on the, okay, I took a little break. I did some painting. I painted the bottom there. That looks pretty good. And I went ahead and painted the back door. Why not? And then the bolts. So I sanded the top of the bolts with my orbital sander and then hit them with a couple coats of black spray paint. There's the back door on the bottom. And also hit the top. I don't know how well it shows up in the sun, but it looks a lot better. Didn't look that bad to begin with, but it looks better. And I'm gonna put the control panel back together, wire the sucker up, see how it goes. Okay, this Frogger's done. So let's see. So there's the bottom where I repainted that, bonded up the edge and painted it. It looks a lot better. I've got a working coin door on here. I went ahead and put that on with the coin box. I cleaned the buttons, scrubbed the control panel, cleaned up the joystick. It looks really good now. Redid the little carriage bolts, so all that's redone. I could use a new inside bezel, but I'll get one of those, not now, but eventually. I think I could use one. That one's kind of falling apart. And then, so I've got, this is right now on a 60-in-1, but you can put the quarters in, and it'll take boom, it'll give you a quarter, and plays fine. Looks good, because it's got a nice Wells Gardner in it, monitor in it. So it plays good, looks good. There we go. And then the sides, I mean, this is a nice plywood cab. It looks really nice. Then I painted the back. And this is the on-off switch. So, you turn it off. Let me take the back door off. Alright, so it's got the 60-in-1 in there. It took me a little bit of time to figure out what was what on the. I mean, it has a key, but you don't use that many of the wires. You really use just a few of them. Anyway, to turn it on, you just turn it on with that switch, and then it boots straight to Frogger, which is kind of cool, which is what I wanted. So it's just like obviously it's a 60-in-1 board, but it plays the same, I think. Until I get my Frogger PCB up and running, this will have to do. And then, I've got it on quarters, so that's kind of cool, I think. So anyway, that's my Frogger for now. Maybe I'll have another video later, or maybe a Let's Play or something. I don't know, but I like it. I like it. Old school. Looks pretty good. I get the PCB in there, and it'll be legit. But it looks pretty good right now. All right, that's it. Bye.